Hey everybody, and welcome back. This week, since we're still talking about travel, I wanted to see if my dividends that I receive on an annual basis could pay for my flight to Barcelona, Spain. So I did just book a trip to Barcelona to see a friend in Europe in the month of August. And we're gonna be hopping around to a few little places, but I'm very excited. And I wanted to see if my passive income streams could actually sustain this travel for this year. So the first thing I wanted to do was check how much it actually costs to fly from Calgary to Barcelona. Now there is a direct flight with WestJet, which is fantastic. And most of the travel I have done in the past few years has been with WestJet. That is changing, especially because Aeroplan, Amex, and Marriott play so nicely together. But I can't beat a direct flight from Calgary to Barcelona, especially if I don't have to lay over anywhere, because I truly hate layovers. They just, ugh. Anyways, there is a direct flight, it's overnight, and that means there's enough time in my mind to actually end up having dinner on the plane and then getting a decent amount of sleep before landing around noon-ish the next day. So first thing I did was pull up the prices for a flight from Calgary to Barcelona, and I wanted to check to see if my dividends could pay for me to fly economy, premium, or business class. Now, for anyone who's followed me for a while, you know that I have been spoiled when it comes to travel. I used to travel in the corporate world a couple of times per week, and a lot of that actually meant I was upgraded to business class. And when I've gone over to Europe in the past, especially if it's been for work, I usually at least fly premium economy so that I have a little bit more room. I get a couple glasses of wine, some dinner, and I can actually sleep. But there is nothing like flying in a pod. I will say they are fantastic. I flew back in a pod from Europe last year and it was incredible. I also flew with a 1-year-old home from Hawaii in a pod, also fantastic, would highly recommend. So if you can afford the pod, I don't know, especially on the overnight flight, I think it's probably worth it. But that might just be the fact that I have been very blessed in how I've been able to travel in the past number of years. All that aside, I wanted to share with you just how much it costs. So in economy, round trip, it would be $1,559. For premium economy, which is those like 2 and 2 seats, your chair can recline a little bit and you have a little bit of a footrest, it is $2,334. And to fly business, it is actually lower than I was expecting, $3,764. Now, this brings me to pulling up how much I've actually made in dividends this year. So I am filming this on June 16th, which means the majority of my June dividends have not come in, and I would say June is a big month for dividends. So in January, I earned $1,407 in dividends. In February, I earned $115 in dividends. In March, we earned $737 in dividends. April, $175. May, $100. And so far, again, I pulled these numbers, I think as of June 12th, actually, when I was scripting this all out, I've earned $98 in dividends. But you can see that January and March were like quite high when it comes to the amount of dividends I was actually being paid. And I expect that June will also be relatively high. So my total dividends for the year are $2,632. Now, in June of 2024, I earned $902 in dividends, and my portfolio is just that much bigger this year because those dividends get reinvested. And so my expectation is that I will actually earn more than $900 in June in dividends. So if I compare 2024, in total that year, I earned $3,733 in dividend income. Again, dividend income in my portfolio is not the main focus, but it is a nice kind of added bonus to see how my passive income is growing so that as I get closer to retirement, I can see if that passive income is enough to actually sustain me without having to actually take any money out of my principal. So in 2024, I had just over $3,700 in dividend income. And in 2025, as of June 12th, again, $2,632. So I am just about $1,100 away from what I earned in 2024, which is really exciting. I think that in 2025, I will absolutely earn over $5,000 in dividend income, which is awesome. And so if we take a look back at what the flights cost, with the dividend income I've earned so far, I can pay for an economy flight, and if I wanted to, I could also pay for a premium economy flight. And I think that this just shows the power of dividends and the power of passive income. It can actually create another income stream for you to help pay for the things in your life. Now, obviously in my case, my dividends are being reinvested. I have my dividend reinvestment plans turned on, so those dividends do not get deposited into my trading accounts as cash. They just automatically purchase more shares of my investments, which is a really great wealth building strategy to get you to the point of building and amassing wealth faster. I do offer a dividends masterclass that is available on my website. So if you're interested in learning how you can do this and how you can actually build passive income to pay for your flights or to pay for other things in your life, you can check out the description below. I will leave the link to that as well, or you can comment the word dividends and I will make sure that you get that link. Overall, I won't be pulling any of my investments out to pay for this flight, but I think it is a fun exercise to see what you can pay for. And this is kind of the opposite of personalizing your debt. It's personalizing your passive income to actually see what you're able to afford, because I think a lot of people don't realize just how quickly passive income can grow and your investment portfolio can grow without actually looking at what you're able to pay for. So again, $2,600 a month, that could potentially be 1 month of rent or a mortgage payment that is being covered by my dividend income. And what's really exciting about this is when you look at just how much my dividends have grown over the past 13 years of investing, you can see that at the beginning, I was making like $16 or $17 in dividend income, and now we're close to $5,000. And this will only continue to grow. Even if I don't contribute another dollar, we're looking at close to $70,000 in dividend or passive income by the time I reach retirement, which is actually going to cover all of our living expenses, provided our mortgage is paid off and we have no other debt. I think $70,000 to live on is fairly reasonable when it comes to all of those living expenses that we have on a monthly basis. We might need a little bit more for travel because, again, as you know, I tend to like to travel in business class. But that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do have any questions about dividend income or dividend investing, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next week.